Coming into next question, a manufacturer of medicine is proposed to prepare a production plan for medicine A and B. Medicines manufacturing company want to produce two medicines, medicine A and medicine B. There are sufficient ingredients available to make 20,000 bottles of medicine A. We have how much of raw material for producing medicine A? 20,000 bottles of ingredients, as well as for medicine B we have 40,000 bottles. That means you can't produce more than 20,000 bottles of medicine A and 40,000 bottles of medicine B. But there are 45,000 bottles into which either of medicine can be filled. We have 45,000 bottles. We are using those bottles to fill both medicines. That means medicine A as well as medicine B are filling in this particular 45,000 bottles. That means our production of medicine A and medicine B must not go beyond 45,000 units. Am I clear? Further, it takes 3 hours to prepare enough material to fill 1,000 bottles. For filling 1,000 bottles, we are taking how many hours? 3 hours. For filling 1,000 bottles of medicine A, we are taking 3 hours. That means 3 divided by 1,000. Next, for medicine B, we are taking how many hours? 1 hour. 1 hour to prepare enough material to fill 1,000 bottles of medicine B. For preparing 1,000 bottles of medicine B, we are taking how many hours? 1 hour. That means 1 divided by 1,000. And in total, we have how many hours? 66 hours are available in total. And the profit per bottle is 8 rupees of medicine A and 7 rupees per bottle of medicine B. Formulate LP problem. By selling medicine A, we are getting how much profit? 8 rupees. By selling medicine B, we are getting how much profit? 7 rupees. Now, what he asked? He asked to formulate problem as LP, linear programming problem. First, what is our objective here? What is our objective? Either to maximize profit or minimize cost. Did he mention anything about cost, time, distance? No. But he mentioned about profits. Now our objective is to maximize profits. Now, which profit we need to maximize? Medicine A profit? Medicine B profit? No. We need to maximize organization profit. That is max Z. How to get profit of an organization? Profit of medicine A plus profit of medicine B, you will get the profit of organization or profit of the company. Am I clear? Now we know by selling 1 unit of medicine A, you are getting how much? 8 rupees. By selling 1 unit of medicine A, you are getting 8 rupees. To get total profit of medicine A, you need to multiply 8 by number of units. Number of units of medicine A into 8 rupees per unit, you will get the total profit of from medicine A. Now 8 into number of units. How many units? That we need to find. That is the thing we need to find. Now let number of units of medicine A is equals to x1, medicine B is equals to x2. We don't know number of units of medicine A. We don't know number of units of medicine B. That is we need to find. So that's why we take it as variables x1 and x2. Now 8 into number of units of medicine A, that is x1, plus 7 into number of units of medicine B, that is x2. subject to constraints. Total first constraint. What is the first constraint we have? Raw material. What is our first constraint? Raw material. We have only 20,000 bottles of ingredients of medicine A. That means you can't produce more than 20,000 bottles of medicine A. 20,000 less than 20,000. What is less than 20,000? Medicine A must be less than or equals to 20,000. So medicine A is nothing but number of units of medicine A. So we take it as X1. What is number of units of medicine A? It is X1 na. That means X1 must be less than or equals to 20,000. Next, what is the number of units of medicine B? X2. How many units of ingredients or raw materials we have for medicine B? 40,000. That means you can't produce more than 40,000 units of medicine B. That means X2 must be less than or equals to 40,000. This is the constant for raw material or inputs. And another constant we have, what is another constant we have? In the form of bottles. Total how many bottles we have? 45,000. Those bottles are used for both A and B. So after manufacturing the medicine, we are filling the bottles. The same bottle is used for medicine A as well as medicine B. Now how many bottles we have? 45,000. That means medicine A and medicine B must be less than or equals to 45,000. So number of units of X1 plus number of units of X2 must be less than or equals to 45,000. Till now the data is given in single units. Till now for ingredients, for bottles or packing material, the data given in single units. When it comes to hours, number of hours, the data given in thousands. That means we need to divide it by 1,000 only. Now for filling medicine A into bottles, how much time it is taking? 3 hours. For how many bottles? 1,000 bottles. 3 hours for 1,000 bottles. That means 3 divided by 1,000 into number of units. That is X1 plus. For medicine B, how much time it is taking? 1 hour. For how many bottles? 1,000 bottles. 1 divided by 1,000 into X2 must be less than or equals to 66. Last function. What is our last function? Common for all. Non-negative function. That is X1 comma X2 must be less greater than or equals to 0. That means your production will not goes into negative. It is always be in positive numbers only. Coming into question number 4, an electric firm is undecided as to most profitable mix of its products. What is profitable mix of its products? That is how many units of each product must be sold in the market to get maximum profit to the company. So what are the products? We have transistors, resistors and carbon tubes. By selling 100 units of transistors, you are getting how much? 10 rupees. By selling 100 units of resistors, you are getting 6 rupees. By selling 100 units of carbon tubes, you are getting 4 rupees. Next, for producing 100 units of transistors, you require one engineering hour. That means one engineer has to spend 1 hour to produce transistor, and you require 10 hours of direct labor and 2 hours of administration service. To produce resistors of 100 units, you require 1 hour of engineering, 4 hours of direct labor and 2 hours of administration service. For producing carbon tubes, you require 1 hour of engineering, 5 hours of direct labor and 6 hours of administration service. Okay, very good. Next, there are 100 hours of engineering. So how many hours of engineering service are available to us? Only 100 hours to produce transistors, resistors and carbon tubes. That means transistors and resistors and carbon tubes must use the engineering hours less than or equals to 100 hours only. Next, how many hours of direct labor we have? 600 hours. The consumption of direct labor by transistors, resistors and carbon tubes must be less than or equals to 600 hours. It won't use. It is not allowed to use more than 600 hours of direct labor. Next, how many hours of administration service we have? 300 hours. That means consumption of administration service by transistors, by resistors, by carbon tubes must be less than or equals to 300 hours. That means only we have 300 hours available to us that for administration service. You can use up to 300 hours only. You can't use more than 300 hours. First, what we need to do is draw one table. Transistors T, resistors R, carbon tubes C. Now, what are the constants we have? First one is engineering. Next, direct labor. Next, administration service. By selling transistors, you are getting how much? 10 rupees. By selling resistors, you are getting 6 rupees. By selling carbon tubes, you are getting 4 rupees. In total, engineering hours are available 100. Direct labor is how much? 600 and administration service is 300 hours. Now, for producing one transistor, you require 1 engineering hour, 10 labor hours and how many administration services you need? 2 hours of administration service. That means by spending time of 1 engineering hour, 10 labor hours and 2 hours of administration service, you are producing one transistor and you are selling that one transistor in the market and you are getting a profit of 10 rupees. Next, for producing one resistor, you need how much? 1 hour of engineering, 4 hours of direct labor and 2 hours of administration service. For resistors, you are putting an amount of 1 hour of engineering service and 4 hours of direct labor and 2 hours of administration services, and you are producing one resistor, you are selling in the market for a profit of 6 rupees. Next, for carbon tubes, 1 engineering hour, 5 hours of direct labor, 6 hours of administration service. You are incurring an amount of 1 hour for engineering, 5 hours for direct labor, 6 hours for administration service for producing carbon tubes and selling it in the market for how much? 4 rupees. Now, what is your objective? Your objective is to maximize profit. Yes or no? Did he mention anything about cost? No, no. If he mentioned something about cost, your objective is to minimize the cost. Now he mentioned about profit na. Now your objective is to maximize the profit. How to maximize profit? By selling the best product mix, you will get the maximum profit. So how to get the profit of company? Profit of transistors plus profit of resistors plus profit of carbon tubes. Now let let assume assume 100 units is equals to one batch. Number of batches of transistors is equals to x1. Number of batches of resistors is equals to x2. Number of units of batches of carbon tubes is equals to x3. Now max z is equals to, by selling one batch you are getting, so how many units in the batch? 100 units. By selling 100 units you are getting a profit of 10 rupees into number of batches. You don't know the number of batches. We took it as x1 plus 6x2 plus 4x3. This is profit of transistors, this is profit of resistors, and this is profit of carbon tubes. Subject to constraints. Subject to constraints. What are the constraints we have? First constraint is for engineering hours. How many engineering hours we have? Only 100. That means whatever hours you consumed for transistors, whatever hours of engineering you consumed for resistors, whatever hours you consumed for producing carbon tubes, must be less than or equals to 100 hours. Yes or no? Now, how many engineering hours are required for producing one batch of transistors? 1 hour. You require 1 hour for producing one batch. That means 1 x1 plus 1 x2 plus 1 x3 less than or equals to 100. Next, how many hours of direct labor we have? 600. That means whatever hours you consumed for transistors, whatever hours you consumed for resistors, whatever hours you consumed for carbon tubes, must be less than or equals to 600. So now how many hours you are consumed for transistors? That means 10 hours for one batch of 100 units. Now into number of batches, you don't know the number of batches, that's why we took as x1. Now 10 x1 plus 5 4x2 4x2 plus 5x3 less than or equals to 600. Next, how many hours of administration service we have? 300 hours. Now whatever amount of hours you consumed for transistors, resistors and carbon tubes must be less than or equals to 300 hours. You are not allowed to use more than 300 hours. How much you want for transistor? You can use but it must be less than or equals to 300 hours. You can use only for transistors as well, but it must be less than or equals to 300 hours only. So how many hours you use? 2 hours for each batch into number of batches, that is x1 plus 2 x2 plus 6 x3 less than or equals to 300. Now last function x1 comma x2 comma x3 greater than or equals to 0. That means you need to produce always in positive figures only. You are not allowed to produce in negative figures. The production will not goes into negative. Will you produce minus 2 products? Will you produce minus 5 products of resistors? No, no. Right. Write down. Coming into question number 5. A farmer has a farm with 125 acres. Farmer has how many acres? 125 acres. He produces carrot, beetroot, potato. Whatever he produces is fully sold in the market and gets 5 per kg of carrot. He have 125 acres. In 125 acres, he is producing carrot, beetroot and potato. By selling carrot, he is getting 5 rupees. He is selling for 5 rupees and beetroot is selling for 4 rupees. Potato is selling for how much? 5 rupees. The average yield is 1500 kgs of carrot per acre, 1800 kgs of beetroot per acre and 1200 kgs of potato per acre. So if you are going to produce potato, you will get how many kgs of potato per acre? 1200 kgs of potato. And beetroot, how much beetroot, how many kgs of beetroot you will get from each acre? 1800. And carrot 1500 kgs you will get per acre. To produce each 100 kgs of carrot, beetroot and 80 kgs of potato, a sum of 12.5 has to be sent for manure. That means for seeds, for fertilizers, pesticides, you are incurring how much? 12.5. For how many kgs? 100 kgs. That means per acre how much? The average yield is 1500 kgs of carrot. That means per acre 1500 kgs. So how many 100 kgs are there in 1500 kgs? 1500 divided by 100. That is 15 into 12.5. 197.5. 187. That means per acre you are incurring 187.5 rupees for pesticides, seeds and fertilizers. Next. How many 100 kgs are there in 1800 kgs? 18 into 12.5. 225. That means you are incurring for manure how much? 225 for beetroot per acre. Next. Labor required for each acre to raise the crop is 6 man days for carrot. So to produce carrot in 1 acre, you need how many labor hours? 6 man days. Per man day, how much you are paying? 40. 6 into 40, 240. Next. So carrot and for potato. For potato as well as for carrot, you require 6 man days. But for beetroot, you require 5 man days. So in total, how many man days we have? 500 man days. Now, what is our objective? Here, our objective is to maximize profit. Did he mention directly any profit here? Don't say 5, 4, 5. That 5 rupees, 4 rupees and 5 rupees is not profit. It is selling price. Selling price consists of both cost and profit. Now you need to deduct cost from the selling price. You will get profit. Now first you need to First you need to calculate cost per acre. Here almost all data is in acre only, and you need to allot land as well to the carrot, beetroot and potato. Now you need to calculate profit per acre. First, particulars: carrot, beetroot, potato. How many kgs of carrot? 1500 kgs per acre. Per acre, 1500 kgs, 1800 kgs, 1200 kgs. Selling price. What is the selling price? 5 rupees, 4 rupees, 5 rupees. Am I correct? Now, total sales value. Sales value per acre, 1500 into 5, 7500. 1800 into 4, 7400. Next, 1200 into 5, 7200 ఇది. Next, 1200 into 5. రే, నువ్వు వచ్చిందే లేటు. వాంతో అందరితో మీటింగ్ పెట్టుకుంటున్నావు. క్లాస్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదనుకో, అట్ట జోబులో చేలు పెట్టుకొని బయట వెళ్ళిపో. లేదంటే 7 రంధ్రాలు మూసుకొని కూర్చో. అర్థమైందా? ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్, minus cost. You will get profit. First, what are the costs we have? First one is for manure. Per acre, how much amount of manure you are incurring? For 100 kgs, it is 12.5. Here sales value is 7500, but for manure you are incurring only 100. 1500 divided by 100 into 12.5, how much? 1. So I think it is not 12.5, it is 125. Okay. It is not 12.5, it is 125. For 100 kgs you are incurring 125 rupees. That means per acre how much? Per acre you are getting 1500 kgs. Per 100 kgs 125. For 1500 kgs, how many 100 kgs are there in 1500 kgs? 1500 divided by 100, that is 15 into 125. 1875. Next, for beetroot also you are incurring an amount of 125 for how many kgs? 100 kgs. So how many kgs are you are getting in per acre? 1800. 1800 divided by 100 into 125, that is 2250. Now for potato you are incurring 125, not for 100 kgs, you are incurring for 80 kgs. Now how many kgs you are getting from per acre? 1200. 1200 divided by 80, how much? 1875. How you got this? 1500 divided by 100 into 125. 1800 divided by 100 into 125. Next 1200 divided by 80 into 120. Now, labor per acre, how many man days required? Per acre, how many man days are required? 6 man days per carrot and 6 man days per potato, 5 man days for beetroot. And per each man day you are incurring an amount of how much? 40. Now, for carrot, how many man days? 6 man days into 40, that is 240. For beetroot, 5 man days into 40, 200. For potato, 6 man days into 40, 240. If you deduct manure cost and labor cost from sales value, you will get profit. There is no fixed cost, na? Did he mention anything about fixed cost? No. That means whatever amount you will get as contribution is profit only. 5 5,380. Next 4,000. Next 3,080. 885. Say loudly, ra. Huh. Now, how to maximize the profit? How to maximize the profit? By allocating the land to carrot, beetroot and potato. You will get the maximum. So, how to allocate this land? So, allocate the land in the product mix that increase your overall company or overall farmers profit. Now, max Z is equals to, so from carrot you are getting how much? 5385 as profit into number of acres allotted to carrot out of 125 acres. Did you know? No, na? So we are taking it as x1. So what is x1? Amount of land allotted to carrot plus amount of land allotted to beetroot. We are taking it as x2. That means per acre we are getting 4,750 into number of acres allotted to beetroot. Next into number of acres allotted to potato is x3. If you know the number of acres allotted to carrot, number of acres allotted to beetroot, number of acres allotted to potato, you will get the total profit. You don't know the number of acres allotted to each product, each crop. That's why we are taking it as x1, x2, x3 as variables. Now, subject to first. What is the first constraint we have? So, total amount of land we have is only 125 acres. The amount of land allotted to each crop, that is potato, carrot and beetroot, must be less than or equals to 125 acres. The total land allotted to all three products must be less than or equals to 125 acres. That means x1 plus x2 plus x3 less than or equals to 125. Next, how many man days we have? 500 man days. The amount of labor used by potato, used by carrot, used by beetroot must be less than or equals to 500 man days. Now, how to get the man days? Per acre it is 6 man days into number of acres allotted to carrot, that is x1 plus 5 x2 plus 6 x3 less than or equals to 500. So last one is non-negative function x1 comma x2 comma x3 greater than or equals to 0. That means always your production will be in positive figures only. Will you produce -1 potato? No, no. That's it. Write down.